Hi guys, my name is Erica and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can stop caring about what other people think of you. What I mean by that is, for example, someone or some people that are very negative in the way that they speak. How can you not care about what they think? What they say about you. Another thing is if someone asks you to go out or to go to a party and they invite you, how can you say no to them and not be a people pleaser without feeling guilty about it and not caring about what they think of that? That's what I'm going to be discussing today, and I'm going to give you a lot of tips and tricks, and I hope you find this video helpful. So if you enjoy this video, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up and share. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. First thing that you need to acknowledge is that you cannot control what people think. They can meet you and they have their first impression. You can't change their first impression that they have of you. You can't change their perspective of what they believe about you. Get that out of your head. That is beyond your control. And their opinion is only an opinion. Don't give it more weight than that. Their opinion is only relevant if you give it that thought and that attention. At the end of the day, if you are not hurting anyone and you are being an honest person, you're not being disingenuous and being sneaky and manipulative, you're just being a kind, good-hearted person, don't worry about what other people think. You need to think about your intentions. If your intentions are pure and you're being honest, that's all that you can really do. Just try to be your best self, and if your self is not worth it for other people, then that's their own problem. You need to realize that it is unnecessary anxiety and stress for you to keep on pondering inside of your mind what they are thinking. It's something that you put on yourself. It's stress that you put on yourself, pressure that you put on yourself that doesn't even need to be there, so don't even put it there. You also have to realize that the less that you care, the more happy you will become, because you become more free and more at peace, not having to exert so much energy and so much of your own resources to care about what someone else is thinking. The bottom line is that their opinion is only an opinion. It's subjective. It's not fact. And if someone doesn't like us, so what? There are 1,000,001 other people in the world that will like us for who we are and will appreciate us for who we are. So you have to remember that no one cares as much as you think they do. You can be in a sea of people, right? And then you're thinking, you're so worried about yourself and how you appear, but you need to think about how they are feeling, and the other people are examining themselves and thinking, like, how do I appear to other people? So don't overthink things. I think that is a big topic about caring about what other people think. You tend to be an overthinker maybe, and you really care, but at the end of the day, people care less than you think they do. They care more about how they appear to other people. You need to flip the script. You need to focus on what you can control and how you can become a better human being. Don't think about what other people are thinking, and don't try to control what they're thinking. Instead, control what you are thinking and how you feel about yourself. You need to think about yourself. Like, you need to think about everything that's going on inside of yourself, and it doesn't make sense for you to worry about what they are thinking. You're already so worried about what you're thinking. How do you even have time to think about what they're thinking, if you know what I mean? Instead of wasting energy and preoccupation on what they think and what they are doing, put that energy onto yourself and think, how can I be better? How can I fulfill my life and make my life more happy and fulfilled and more exciting? Now, we have acknowledged that people are going to think what they think, and we can't control that, but we can control what we believe about ourselves and how we can become better people. The next step is that we need to focus our energy on ourselves. Focus on what matters. So what matters could be your friends, your family, your health, your wealth, your career, your hobbies, things of that nature. Exploring, making new memories, living a full life. Exude good energy. We need to focus on the positive. And you want to showcase the best version of yourself to other people. If you're happy, that energy is going to radiate to other people, thereby making the world a better place to live in. So put yourself out there, educate yourself, and just be more fulfilled in your life. The key to not care about what other people think about us is to care about what we think of ourselves. We need to do an examination, a self-examination, and look within ourselves, see what we want to work on, try our best to do whatever we can to improve ourselves. It is also important to keep in mind that you need to be true to yourself. There are two really good quotes that I want to read to you. We suffer far more by our imagination than reality, and the greatest prison people live in is the fear of what people think. We all have to get out of that box of fearing what other people think about us and just stay true to who we are. You need to have empathy and respect for yourself. If you're being a good person, just being open, honest, and transparent, that's all that you can really do, you know? Be our authentic, true selves, and if some people judge us for that, then that's their issue. Do what makes you happy and give yourself the love that you have given to other people. Do what you love, no matter what people say, and no matter what people do. They can pounce on you, they can do terrible things to you, they can keep on gossiping about you. People can say terrible things about you, they can gossip about you behind your back, make fun of you, whatever, right? People can say whatever they want. This is a free country, but you need to realize that that is it. You know, their words is their fake power, but you have the real power here, because you're not going to let those words affect you, and you're actually going to become stronger, and you're going to have a deeper sense of self and strength in who you are. Realize that no matter what they say, no matter what they do, you will always be able to retain your value. But you gotta be strong. Don't let words affect you. They're only words and they're only opinions. An opinion is just an opinion. Don't give it any more weight than it should have. It's just an opinion. Ultimately, you need to invest your time, your energy, and your resources smartly. Practice self-awareness. Assess the situation of what they believe about you. Be open and honest and transparent with yourself. Is there any truth to what they said? You have to have a good sense of self based on your life experiences. If there is some truth to what they said, you can assess that and give a little bit of respect, and then give empathy to yourself and speak up for yourself. Talk about how that makes you feel. If you can confidently say that you gave your best effort to give your best self to someone and they don't reciprocate or they don't respond in a positive manner, then that's all that you could do. You need to respect your own opinion and value yourself. You want to engage in some mental decluttering. Clear your mind and compartmentalize what is important to you. What are your priorities? When you stop caring about what other people believe and think about you, you're going to be able to live in self-harmony, love yourself, and have peace within yourself. So don't care what people think of you. Care about what you think of yourself. I believe that someone can evolve much higher and quicker if they focus on what's important, if they focus on their goals, their dreams, their aspirations, things that they really love, instead of focusing and giving attention to what their peers believe. It's all about prioritizing in your mind what is important and what needs to go. We all need to prioritize what is most important in our life, prioritizing and investing time, energy, and resources into the most essential things. Our time on earth is limited, right? All of us are going to be perished off this earth someday. And what do you want to do? Would you want to look back at your life and think like, I should have focused on this more instead of that more? Or are you going to use the time right now to focus on what is most important in your life and give that all of the attention that it deserves, instead of merely giving attention to what people think about you? Like, that is such a small, minuscule thing if you think about it, especially if you're already trying your best to be the best version of yourself, and then that's not good enough for them, then that's their own problem. It's not your problem. Of course, everyone's priorities are different, but I would encourage you to look at what your priorities are in this world and assess your situation. Everyone's perspective is different, but if you generalize what is important in your life, do I place more importance on this? Do I place more importance on this? You're going to realize there is actually a scale in your head of what really is important. Just by visualizing that, you'll be able to really compartmentalize the situation and make some changes. When you stop caring about what other people think of you, you are reducing this unnecessary stress and anxiety. It may even cause some depression. This is also about your mental health. It's going to drive you crazy if you are consumed in your mind of thoughts about what they believe about you. Instead, just focus on what you can control, what you think of yourself, and just try to be your best self. Don't get attached to unimportant things, things that don't even matter at the end of the day. Another thing that I want to bring up is that we talk about all of this, like what other people think of us, right? When we think about me, that effect is ego, right? They're like, this is about me, like what they think about me. But I want you to try to turn your attention instead of yourself on them. So this isn't about me. That's the ego part of us talking. Let's talk about them, and also let's talk about we. Turn the me into a we. Something that we also have to realize is that people don't do things to us. They do things for themselves. So this is recognizing that it's not just our ego in play, it's also their ego in play. Also, people who behave in a negative manner, you can think about it not as something that we did, but as something that they did, or some trauma that they have experienced that has led them to believe in such a negative way about you. But we all have to realize that no matter what they say, no matter what they do, we will never lose the intrinsic value that we have for ourselves. We will never lose that. Your value does not decrease because of someone else's inability to see the worth that you bring. We take things personally because of our ego of wanting to be right, of being on the right side of things, of being the good guy. I believe that we should try to change this perspective instead of looking at the situation and thinking they need to stop being so mean to me. We need to look at it from a different perspective, and that is not talking about me putting my ego into it, but putting it into we status. And what I mean by that is instead of thinking about yourself, let's think about the other party. Try to understand what their intention is. When we try to understand them instead of judging them for judging us, then we will get less irritated about the situation. So for example, someone may be gossiping about you, right? They gossip about you left and right. And you're wondering in your head, I hate that, I hate that this person is gossiping about me, right? But then now what we're going to do and we're going to practice is we're going to take ourselves out of that equation. We're removing our ego from it and we're going to look at them and assess them. Why do they feel that way? They could feel that way because of what people are whispering in their ear, right? So it could have been nothing about, like for example, if it was about me, it has nothing to do with me and my character. It has to do with someone that is insecure, not confident in themselves, and they feel like they need to gossip about me to other people to make themselves feel superior and make me feel inferior. And so this person believes all the gossip that they're hearing, but in reality, it's not the truth. So you can see that this is a different perspective, right? In another situation, you may really care if a friend invites you to their wedding, and in the back of your head, you're thinking, I really can't make it. I have work obligations and I have things that I really need to take care of. Even if I don't take care of it, then I'm screwed, right? But I don't want to disappoint my friend. The best thing that you can do in this situation is be honest and open and transparent, not just for your friend, but for yourself and for your inner peace and your inner solitude and harmony. So it really is about being honest and being self-aware that it is okay to reject someone. In that case, yes, but you have to be honest about it and don't feel bad about being honest, because being honest is the most refreshing thing. Another thing about not caring about what other people think is we have to train our brain to think this way. It's not something that's just going to happen overnight. I don't care what people think, and I can keep on repeating that to myself 100,000 times, but that is not going to have the effect that I want it to have. I really have to train my brain to think this way. To do that, it really is about taking the attention away from what they think about you and more about focusing on yourself and how you can be the best version of yourself. If you feel like they are judging you too hard, think about their perspective, right? We're so caught up in our own thoughts and our own feelings that we might not even think about what their perspective is, and we need to take a step back and think about that. Why do they feel this way? And talk about that. I think it's important to focus on their intention and to not take it personally. Everyone has an opinion, and their opinion is not right. No such thing as a correct opinion. An opinion is just a belief that someone has. That tells you that this is just a perspective. It's not rooted in fact. And I think that if you know that, it gives you a sense of peace. Now, maybe you have thought about it and you can see that there is some truth to what this person is saying. Like, their opinion actually does have some truth in it and some value. What you're going to do is not be too hard on yourself. Don't be insecure and don't lose all confidence in yourself. Just think about how you can be better and how you can make yourself feel better. That may lead you to question yourself, but at the same time, it may lead you to become more developed and more stronger, and you're going to develop more self-awareness, which is always a good thing. Give yourself some empathy if there's some truth to what they said about you. If it hits a nerve in your heart, just speak up and express those feelings. Don't hold it in. Speak your truth. If there's some truth to what they are saying, don't blame them for pointing it out. They may be saying it from a place of having your interests at heart, actually. For example, if it's someone that you really admire, a very good friend of yours, or if it's a mentor, and they mention something about you that you don't like, you can assess that and think about it. And if there is some truth to what they are saying, have some empathy for yourself. Just work on how you can be better and express your feelings about what they said made you feel. But at the end of the day, try to be better. At the end of the day, we cannot control what people say about us and what people think of us. We can only do so much, and what you can do is invest in yourself. Invest your time, your energy, your money, and your resources into bettering yourself and becoming the best version of yourself. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what other people think about us. Of course, it does matter if we are hurting other people. That is a little tricky, but I'm talking about if there's really no reason for people to believe that. We shouldn't care what other people think about us at the end of the day. We should care about what we believe and think about ourselves. So if there's something about yourself that you're not happy about, have the self-awareness to acknowledge it and change something about yourself. But if someone is just being mean and they're gossiping about you and talking smack about you, that says more about them than you. That talks to their insecurity, the fact that they need to say mean things about other people behind their back, can't even have the audacity to say it in front of them. That says so much more about them than it says about you. So don't even pay any attention to that. Don't even invest any of your energy, your time, your resources into what they are saying, because there is no value in that. If there is an event that someone invites you to, you don't have to go. Don't feel pressure to go if it's not in your best interest or it's not in your mental health capacity to go. Don't put yourself through that. Of course, sometimes it is good to challenge yourself to get out of your comfort zone, but I'm talking about if you feel like it really will drain your energy, don't feel like you are obligated to go. You're never obligated to do something that you don't want to do. I believe that the key to not care about what other people think is to care about other things. Things that are more important in your mind and have a higher priority. There's a lot of things that should be higher up on your list than actually caring about what other people think. Of course, it is important to care in some instances, right? For example, in terms of your job and you really did mess up and you're not being as productive as you can be, or if you really hurt someone's feelings or you lie to someone, things that you shouldn't be doing, in those cases, you should definitely care. You should care about their feelings and make it up up to them. I'm not talking about those kinds of situations. I'm talking about situations in which you really can't do anything. Like someone has a negative opinion right off the bat, like you didn't do anything to them, you barely spoke a word to them, and they already have a negative impression of you, or your friend judges you because you didn't go to their function. I'm going to talk about how you can deal with those emotions and not care about that. Our minds can only take in so much information. Our life is only so short. While we have all of this time, this limited time on earth, we need to focus on what is important, what we believe is going to fulfill our lives and make us happy. That doesn't work when we are constantly thinking about how others perceive us. That is only going to drive us bananas. Everyone has their own opinion, right? Every single person, they may meet you and they have an opinion of you. Are you going to do everything in your power to try to change their opinion of you? No, you're not. What you can do is just be true to yourself and be the best version of yourself. Try to showcase the best version of yourself to other people. That is the best that we can do. And if they don't appreciate that or they judge you for that, then that is their issue. At the end of the day, we really can't care so much about what other people think. We can't control that. It's beyond our control. They can think whatever they want about us. But we have ultimate control over what we believe about ourselves. Practice that self-love. That's another thing that is going to come into play in this situation. We want to love ourselves so much that we are so preoccupied with ourselves in this way. Like we love ourselves so much that this person that doesn't believe that we are awesome, like that's their own problem. As long as you are focused on yourself and focused on your goals, your achievements, and what you want to bring out into this world, that's really what matters. Now, I want to briefly touch on what others think about us in a social situation. For example, you're with everyone that you work with and they all engage in unhealthy activity. You may feel like you have to fit in with them and do that unhealthy thing as well. For example, everyone at a table is eating junk food. They're eating Burger King, and you know for yourself that that is just going to irritate your stomach and it's just going to cause gastrointestinal issues for you. You realize that you are in a unique position, but you might feel mentally trapped. You're worried about what other people would think about you if you eat a healthy salad while everyone else is eating junk food. You really have to train and discipline your mind to not care that you're eating something different. That just makes you unique. That just means that you care about yourself and you love yourself. What is the issue with that? You don't have to fit in with everyone else. Just because everyone else is eating Burger King doesn't mean that you have to. Just because other people are engaging in using something bad doesn't mean that you have to. Just because someone is I don't know, something unhealthy or even something that is healthy. Every one of your friends is working out also doesn't mean that you have to be working out. There is beauty in unique identity. Listen to that again. There is beauty in having a unique identity. So you have to own it. Own the fact that you're different. Own the fact that you have your own goals and your own dreams, things that you find important and that you prioritize in your life. You know, it could be you prioritize your mental health, things that affect your mental health, like your diet and what you eat and things that you put inside of your body. But I think there is this realization that you have to have. Recently, I was at a party and everyone around me was drinking. I felt like there was a situation in which people were pressured to take shots. When it was my turn, I just took a little gulp, and that's perfectly fine. Like, you are unique and you need to have a good sense of self, that you're not going to feel like you're pressured to do something that you feel uncomfortable with and that you know is not going to be good for you. So that is also part of not caring what other people think. You shouldn't care what they think. Who cares? At the end of the day, this is your body, your heart, this is your brain, this is your soul. Why are you going to do something just to appease them and what they want? This is about you. This is your life at the end of the day. And if you don't want to do something, you don't have to. Don't be a people pleaser, because that is just going to ruin your life at the end of the day. If you spend your whole life pleasing others, how are you going to have time to please yourself and care for yourself? You can only do so much as a human. If you feel like you are this type of person that you love to please other people, I encourage you to have some more strength in yourself. Believe in yourself more. You can be strong for yourself. I want you to value who you are. Don't feel pressured to do something that you don't feel comfortable with, and don't feel pressured to do something just because everyone around you is doing the same thing. Don't give in to that temptation. Don't give in to that. Be strong. Be strong for yourself, be strong for your health, and be strong for people that genuinely care about you. I discussed before how you can try to understand someone else's perspective. Understand the perspective of the person who has a negative opinion on you. Could be someone whispering in their ear some bad things about you that are untrue. They believe that that is true, so that they have that opinion of you. You have to realize that this happens a lot. Gossip is a real thing. People do it all the time. Even right now, in this moment, someone could be gossiping about you and you have no idea. Well, you have to realize that you just have to be your best self. Doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter what people think about you. If you are confident in yourself and you are being the best that you can be, that's all that you can do. The fact that they even have time in their brains to have a negative opinion of you and they judge you and they speak negatively about you, it actually says a lot more about them than it says about you. It says that they have space in their mind to think about you and to have this resentment and negativity in their hearts to you. So yeah, that actually says a lot about them. I want you to remember that you don't have space for that. You don't have space to preoccupy your mind into thinking that you're a negative person to them. All you can do is control yourself and think about what you can do in your current situation to just be the best version, to love yourself, to fulfill yourself, and to live a happy life. That is the end of my video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be happy, be healthy, and express gratitude for the loved ones in your life and give love to yourself. I hope that you guys have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.